Hi, we are from SPF. This video is explanation of the potential of cassava as food resources.
Cassava has been used by many nations as a staple food. Can be cultivated throughout the year. Can exist in several climates, being particularly suited to low nutrient availability conditions and capable of surviving drought. Most common method of consumption is its tuber, swollen root of the plant. Their leaves are often eaten for medicinal purposes at times. Cassava has greatest conversion because it's source of carbohydrate and also consists of essential micronutrients such as vitamin A, B, C, iron and zinc.
Cassava production as food resources. Cassava production as food resources. Both cassava roots and leaves are good for food resources as it can be used as human consumption and animal feed. Cassava are also a best substitution of maize in animal feed industry as maize are more pricey. Some countries are depending on cassava as staple food. Its root can be turned to cassava starch or chips, while some people use the leaves as vegetables. The leaves itself contain folic acid, protein, vitamin A and C. However, there are some reported cases of cyanide toxicity due to consuming it. So, food R&D need to be done to improve the cassava processing while maintaining the nutrient. Cassava contains a lot of nutrients such as carbohydrate, vitamins, and protein, but they are various in part. Example, the root contains a lot of carbohydrate but lack in other vitamins. But still, cassava can help the consumer to get the nutrient needed by the body. Like people in some country that are unable to get the meat protein, they can get it from cassava. But, to be concerned, the toxin removal in cassava will also cause nutrient degradation. This makes people who uses cassava as staple food, especially kids, will lack a nutrient. To overcome this, people can use nutrient-enriched cassava flour or consuming cassava with side dish that can give nutrient they need. Cultivating of hybrid cassava with high nutrient level will also help. General procedure of cassava milling. It consists of peeling, shaping, fermentation and dewatering, sieving, drying, and grating.
First, peeling. Remove the inedible outer section of the root consisting of the corky, peridermis and the cortex. Hand peeling was slow and labor intensive but yield the best result. Second is chipping, slicing. To expose the starchy flesh full surface. It increases surface area and promotes rapid drying. Third is fermentation and dewatering. Performed in conventional operation, British mesh was placed into basket, jute bag or perforated plastic sack and left for 1 until 4 days to ferment. Container was placed under pressure during the fermentation process by peeling heavy stone on it, twisting the neck of the sack tight and pressing the back of sack between wooden posts tied by rope. Fourth step is sieving. After pressing the dewatered cassava mesh, a solid cake had to be broken up and sieving. The sieving procedure was not very complicated or arduous, using sieve made of palm leaf, bamboo, or raffia cane. Sieving has traditionally been performed manually. Next is drying. Drying is to produce clean, white, and free extraneous matter. Dry cassava chip with a longer shelf life. Rate of drying of cassava was influenced by several factors, such as slice thickness, loading rate. And lastly is grating. Grating has traditionally been carried out manually at least 1 hour after washing. The cassava was cleared to allow excess water to be drained from peel and washed cassava. A trained individual was only able to produce approximately 20 kg per hour of cassava.
One of the cassava products is cassava flour.
One selected product from cassava, which is cassava flour. In cassava flour process have a 7 step, which is washing and peeling step. In washing and peeling step, before peeling all cassava, the raw cassava will be washed first to eliminate the sand, muds, and other impurity product. Peeling is important work for making great flour. After washing the cassava, it will be peeled using a cassava peeling machine. Second step, which is wet milling. The peeling cassava will be moved into the clean stainless steel cassava milling machine to get consistently smooth mesh. The cassava mesh should be consistently smooth without any lumps. The perfection of the crush decides the quality, yields, and market estimation of the finished cassava flour. Next step, dewatering. Using a press filter to press the cassava mesh for eliminate the water, however, much as cold reasonable be expected. After that, cake breaking step. After process dewatering, the cassava mesh will be pressed to the cassava cake. The cassava cake will be vehicles into the milling machine for breaking into wet powder structure. Next step, which is a drying and sieving. The cassava flour drying machine will dry the wet cassava in a few moments. After drying process, the moisturizer level of cassava flour can be standard guideline. At the point, the cassava flour will be separated the large molecule flour. Next step, which is milling step. After drying and sieving, cassava must pass the thorough milling process to get higher quality cassava flour. The dry large molecule cassava flour will be milled again to get the standard particle cassava flour. Last step, which is packaging. Pack wanted the amount of cassava flour in a polyethylene bag, sealed or stitched as properly to avoid absorption moisturizer of the cassava flow from any environment. The cassava flow ready to the supplier. In conclusion, cassava is the third biggest source of human foods and animal feeds in the tropic after maize and rice. Cassava also as a staple food because can produce more carbohydrate than rice and maize. The process to produce a good cassava must go through a milling process, which is process of peeling, chipping, dewatering, sieving, drying, and grating. Next, cassava also have many variants such as cassava flour used for bread baking, while cassava starch can melt into the glucose and fructose. Besides that, have many strategies to improve cassava production, such as making planting idea and material for farmer at the right times in the right quality. After that, establish a starch-based business in the rural area for preparing cassava. In addition, subsidizing the cost of agriculture data source in a production and processing the cassava. Proceeding with the solid development in a food interest for cassava reproduce important role that cassava plays in the diet. Government should have a policy to encourage, establish cassava production based industry, rural area. This will go along in a reduce for food insecurity in the nation.
That's all from us. Thank you.